I'm gonna give you the secret to where you can become a homeowner and landlord all at the same time. The people that have millions of dollars in real estate, this is how they did it. Things like this can create generational wealth. It is so surprisingly inexpensive, it will blow your mind. In some cases, for less than $3,000 total out of pocket. Okay, so I heard this individual at a sales conference, it was actually about a year ago. He's got Lambos, he's got just stupid friggin' money. And it all started with this very first strategy, which I'm going to teach you. And I know tons of other people that have done similar things. I would have done the same thing if I had known about this in my early 20s, but now I have a family and kids and it would be pretty hard for me to uproot all of us. But if you're younger, if you're maybe, don't have any kids, this could be a phenomenal idea for you. Even if you do, if you're willing to make them live in that, go for it. They're your kids. Do what you want with them. I know I've talked about FHA loans in the past. The most popular one for first-time home buyers, especially if your credit is not the best, with as little as a 520 credit score. That's not a very good credit score. You're gonna have to put a larger down payment with a score that low. You can do as little as 3.5% down with a 580 credit score or higher. And then when we get into the 600s, that's when we can use down payment assistance and other fun things to really limit how much money you actually have to bring to the table. So let's say that there's a fourplex. A fourplex is where it's one building, but there's 4 different houses within that building, right? So you can rent all those out. It's called multifamily is what they call that. There's a good chunk of these homes available for sale today here in Arizona, as well as the other states that I do business in. So let's say that this whole 4-unit property is going to cost $500K. It's going to have 4 total units in. You're going to need to live in one of those units, and then you're going to rent out the other 3. So as I mentioned, you can do as little as a 3.5% down payment. 3.5% of $500K is $17,500. So less than 20 grand to buy a 4-unit property where you can start collecting rental income every single month. Early in my career, I had a client do this. This guy literally wasn't even paying his own mortgage. It was super easy to qualify him for it because the amount of money he was receiving in rent in people that were already renting out the other units and he moved into one of the other ones, just the money he was collecting from those other 3 paid his entire mortgage and I think gave him an extra $100 a month. This guy's not even paying anything to live in his house. He's actually getting paid $100 to live in it. The value on those things just keep going up and up and up because they're harder to find. We've talked about it before, the basic supply and demand. The less there is of something and the more people want it, what does it do to the price? Drives it up. It's real estate 101, economics 101, people. You find one of those units and they make duplexes, triplexes, up to 4 units, you can get an FHA loan with as little as 3.5% down. The guy that showed me how to do this, he wasn't married at the time, insignificant other, but they didn't actually get married. And the reason they did that, because with the FHA loan, you and a significant other can both do the same thing. You can both buy 4plexes, start creating rental income on both of those, live there for about a year, move out, start renting those other ones, and then buy another primary property that's ideally a little bit cheaper or something where the mortgage payment is low enough to where it will be covered by the rent on all of those other properties. Have you ever read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki? This guy's understanding of how money works blew my mind. And this is one of these scenarios where we can use exactly his strategy to create wealth for yourself. If you can find ways to make money to pay for things, that's what freedom is. Like for me, with the residual income I have coming in from my different businesses and other money that I make, it covers all of my daily bills. Like my monthly bills that need to happen, I know they're covered because of the income coming in. You can start that through real estate. You can start that with investment properties like a 4plex or a triplex, where you can literally get in as a homeowner, don't have to wait any time at all and start collecting rent every single month. And the cool thing is you can use down payment assistance with this. There's so many different options that are available for very, very little money out of pocket. So if you're waiting, stop waiting. With interest rates the way that they are right now, this is your time because everyone's waiting for them to drop. And once they do drop enough, everyone else is going to be buying as well. So get in now while there's less competition. You can get the seller to cover closing costs. We can use down payment assistance. This is your opportunity. Do not miss it.